Recording is on.
All right, here we are. Recording is on.
Hi, and thanks for joining. Today we have a quite packed agenda with several topics to discuss. And as you saw yesterday, we did a release of Uyuni, so for sure this one is one of the topics we are going to cover. There are also some issues with with this release, so please don't update, but wait for the details and other announcement that we are going to make later on. If Abid will be able to fix his technical issues, we should also have some news about the redesign of the SCAP integration in Uyuni. And last but not least, Pablo will give us an update on the status of the migration to the new Git workflow. But let's get started. So this new release of Uyuni, what's new and what is important for you to know? Well, first of all, there is a problem with the release. I know it's not nice to start with the problems, but it's important for you to be aware of this. So when you will try to upgrade to the new version of Uyuni, you could hit a nasty problem that will leave you with a broken Uyuni. So please wait for the upgrade. I know that the release has a lot of new things that you are waiting for, but better to wait. We are preparing the new update for fixing this issue, so the release should be available in the next hours. In any case, if any one of you already tried to make the update, as we noticed on GitHub from some reports from the community, you could probably see in the logs errors like the one I'm showing in the slides. And the error from the mgradm command seems to be related to the health check, but then if you look at the details, for example, from the journal control, you will see exactly where the problem is. So we are fixing this issue with the lack of grep, but I will share more news later on when the fix will be released. Then, when the release will be done and fixed, this is what you could expect. So, first of all, there are some changes on the new feature that is checking the disk space of your Uyuni instance. And for avoiding issues, we, let's say, relaxed a bit the behavior of this feature that normally should stop your Uyuni instance. And actually, we are relaxing it because there are some cases where maybe the database that you need to migrate is big. So in those cases, actually, this health check could stop your Uyuni system, and of course this is a side effect that we need to fix properly, but for the moment this is what is already available. So in any case, your Uyuni instance will continue to work as it should, just that this stop on failure action is not really active at the moment. So your Uyuni instance will continue to work, to stay up and running. And when, of course, the system will be fully back, actually the Uyuni instance will, let's say, recover automatically. So this is indeed something to keep in mind. Then there are security fixes, as is always happening in our release. So as soon as the fix for this problem I was describing at the beginning will be done, could be good to upgrade your instances, because again, we have several security fixes that are affecting Salt, but also again the monitoring stack. Then going to further details, we have an update on Grafana. Also, in this case, there is something security related. So if you want to have a look at what else has been changed between those versions, you can also have a look at the upstream release notes for all the details. But what is important to know is that we are pointing to a security release. So that's something that you should keep in mind. And related to Grafana, there is also a new dashboard, a new reporting dashboard. And this one is integrated with what you already know about our Grafana stack, our Grafana monitoring stack. And this option will allow you to further filtering the data that are available in the dashboard. So it's a way that can be used for avoiding to pull in additional tools, additional plugins. So should be something that will, let's say, improve how you can do the monitoring of your Uyuni instance. Then going to more news. So finally, as I was writing in the, let's say, subtitle, we can let the old known SMDBA tool retire and rest, because we have this new online database backup that is just using the features from the PostgreSQL archiving. Yes, I agree. So with that one, finally, we will have also on the containerized Uyuni a tool that is fully integrated, that is making that is taking care of all you need for making your backup. The backup will be stored in a dedicated volume, so should be a really good improvement, and several community members were definitely waiting for this change. Something to keep in mind, as everything that is new, sometimes there is something to polish a bit. So with this release, you would need to create this volume before starting to use this online backup system. So there is this command that you can run, this podman volume create, and then of course you can use the feature as is described in the documentation. Then we have another feature that will help to handle the migration in a native way from the Uyuni interface of the minions that are SP7 to the neo/16. And sorry for the typo. I'm so used to write SUSE Multi-Linux Manager that I notice only now that actually I wanted to write Uyuni. But yeah, of course, if you are managing a slash client from Uyuni, you can migrate it from the web UI. Always talking about new features that you could make use of. There is some work going on for improving the Kubernetes support. And one of those changes is around the configurations, configurations for installations and the configuration scripts that were in the past directly in the mgrADM utility. So now all those scripts are directly moved in the images, and these of course will help the work needed for having let's say identical configurations. So when someone is deploying a Uyuni on Podman or using Kubernetes, there's of course more work to be done, but this is one step further this direction. And I'm keeping this slide, let's say at the end of the what's new, because well, this is something that a lot of you were waiting for, and yes, finally the support for Red Hat Enterprise Linux 10 and all the other clones is available. Just keep in mind that with version 10, the architecture, there is a change in the minimum microarchitecture that can be used. So you can't run, and I mean, it's really not supported. You can run the RHEL 10 or the other clones on architectures that are not V3. So if you are trying to install on those architectures like V1 or V2 and you find issues, this is the reason. It's not a bug in the product. It's just that the support is not there, and only V3 architecture will be supported. Yeah, Abid?
Yeah, Marina, sorry to interrupt you. Just one more limitation that we have around native RHEL 10. With in Uni, now we do support CVE audit based on oval data, but Red Hat has stopped providing that data starting from RHEL 10. That means that CVE audit would work, but still based on the old way of things. That means reading the metadata of channels. And based on that, it would tell if there is a CV missing or something. So it will not be using oval data for the native RHEL 10. For others, there is oval data available, and they should be fine. So that's another thing to do. We do have some plan, so now instead of oval data, they are providing a VEX format, so VEX. That's something that we already plan to integrate soon. So hopefully that limitation will be removed. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for the note. Just a moment. Okay. And moving to the next news from this release, we have the as I was also announcing before, the enhanced SCAP auditing integration, but I'm not telling you anything about this because of course this is the next presentation that Abid will show you directly. So with that, if you don't have any additional question on this topic, we can directly move to the presentation from Abid.
Okay, seems there are no questions. So this is going to be a very interesting demo because I can present some of the bits. And Brina, you need to watch it carefully because you need to present the other half from our that Uni instance, that I will share here. So just yeah. So let me share my slide. Not the slides. Actually, I only have demo. Yes. You should be able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's there.
Okay, very good. So yeah, hi everyone. So we have made some changes to improve the user experience, because to say in a simple term, it wasn't an ideal before. You need to type the profile name that you need to know, not in easy, but still possible. You need to install a security guide package that is provided by different vendors. We do provide also for a third party, although not supported. And then after installing the package, you need to provide this path for that particular file, and then it would work. I'm not going to, by the way, schedule anything because my minion is available on different machine and I cannot access it because either I can access that machine or I can connect to Jitsi and attend this meeting. So I will be just presenting this thing. So what we have improved now, it is still a beta feature. So if you will go in my preferences, and you will find there's a new checkbox called beta features. You will save the preferences, and if you will go back on that system, you will see the same page but with a different, with this with a tag, and this is the current page. Before going through this page, we will get back on this page. But before that, I would like to start from here. These three pages. That's also again something that will only be displayed once you will check that checkbox. Um, SCAP content is kind of the root entity when we talking about SCAP audit. So what it does actually um, but so before going this one, you probably noticed that before to run SCAP auditing, all the content, all these XML files need to exist on the minion. So you need to install that package. With this update, we are removing that dependency. So you don't need that security package installed anymore on the minion. So that's one thing that has been changed. What we will be doing is that, yeah, Uniserver will host all the content that we need, and we will transfer it at the runtime to the minion. And first time they like these files are not big, so you won't see a lot of difference between the performance. But especially because sort is pretty smart, so once file is there and it's not changed, it doesn't change anything. It's one, it gives benefit because it gives you a pretty good overview where we are. Second, it kind of remove that risk that somebody can edit those XML files and play with the compliance. So that's one of the advantage that we will be doing. Just to show you how it would work, of course, in my system, I installed a package and then SCP those XML files. In this case, you need two files: our main, DS file, and the XCCDF file. All the others are, we don't need them. There are many of them. XCCDF is only needed because the user experience, we want to improve that, and you will see when we go further. Based on this file, we parse some of the entities and display the profile and all this, so user don't need to figure. In this case, I will select DS file and also XCCDF. Yeah, right. I will give it a name, and okay. So this is what we'll do. This is what I will. Based on this, we have introduced a new concept. We call it SCAP policy. So in SCAP policy, you can actually kind of create a template. What you really want. So next time you don't need to go through all the bits and select. You can just create a policy and then reuse it again and again. So in this particular case, we have this. Yeah, this is again, my system is outdated because just 10 minutes ago I was supposed to present on a different system. So you can select the content, and then it would show the profiles that are available in that particular file, and then you can save it. Of course, there are some other content. We don't have any trailing file yet, And there are some advanced arguments that you can provide over data. You can also, fetch remote sources. Most of those things you could already do with the current version, but there isn't any UI there, so you need to figure it out and pass all of these parameters, manually. So yeah, you can create a policy. I will just create this one. Then another thing that we introduce is a tailoring file. Again, with SCAP, the main data set is like a huge set of rules, and mostly you are not interested in all of them. You only care about few of them or subset of rules. And tailoring files exactly does that. It helps admins to choose what they want to, what they consider is the important rules. So again, you can select some tailoring files. I have a couple of them, so I added, this one or maybe the other one because I know this works. And if you will go back on policy and create new, you will see that you can select the content and this one, and then you can also select a tailoring file. And this is it. This is what we introduced. Now we can go back to our this page audit where we have a new page. And here you again have two options. Either you can select a policy and it would pre-populate all those options that policy has, and you can either schedule a one-off run or you can create a recurring action. If I go in recurring action, you will see a new option here, SCAP policy. You will give a name, you will select a policy, give a schedule, and then you will create a schedule, and then on that schedule it would automatically run, and you will get the result. Or you can just not select a policy and individually select the parameters and at that schedule it right now, and it would just for it would run just one time. So that's about that. Another thing that we have introduced, and I see here, now you can. By the way, maybe I can already give you some information from here. If you go here, you with this remediate flag, you can actually and with there's also like a rule flag as well. But with remediate, if you will pass this flag, OpenSCAP or SCAP would automatically remediate the mail failing tests. You won't have a lot of visibility, so you need to trust, but it would still work. With this update, what you can also do is for the failed action, you can actually remediate from Uni as well. So these are the remediation that we are getting from that SCAP content. Oh, come on. Yeah. And you can also, add your own, custom remediation if you want. It also accepts a salt state or, the best script. And then you can schedule it, from here. And that should be, it's next time when you will run that SCAP content, that if the remediation was successful, you shouldn't be having, that particular rule as a failed one. Same thing is also available from our SSM. So it's the same thing there that you can schedule. So yeah, that's what we have changed. And Marina, if you can access that our long server that I had and the link in the chat, I have prepared a setup there, so maybe you could actually run it.
Okay, just give me a second and then the login. And then I will be your minion. You tell me when to
Thank
click,
you.
and I will just try to assist.
Yes, please.
So
Thank you.
just a moment. Okay, let me know if you can see something.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, should I increase the size or is it fine?
For me, it's fine. I don't know about others.
Okay.
Okay, if you go on under systems, Marino,
Mhm.
the second last menu.
Yes, you are both sharing, so you need to switch manual on the screen. So I think, Pablo, at least you for the recording, you should do it manual.
I did it for the recording, yes, but maybe
Okay.
you need to do it as yourself as well.
Okay. Yeah, Marino, can you go on
Can
this?
you see the screen I'm sharing, or is it okay?
Yes,
I can see.
if I click on that one, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Then
Yeah, just click on the second last menu, Marino.
the SP7.
Yes. Thank you. And in audit, yeah, the groups. Yeah. Thank you. Open SCAP. Yeah, schedule. And from policy, if you the first one, yeah, just select the second one, SCAP policy one. So it only has two parameters. It's selected the SCAP content and the profile that we would like to, and just schedule it, Marina.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, just check if the event is already successful. Yeah, okay.
Seems yes.
Okay, can you go back on the system, maybe? Same menu. And audit. Open SCAP. Yeah, so this is what we currently have, so SCAP scan rain, and currently now we have 63 rules passed, 155 failed, and now this time we will run with the tailoring file. So Marina, if you go back in schedule, yeah, this one, and this time you select the other policy, the first one. This one also has, the tailoring file. Just schedule it, So this will, only select subset of those whole rules that we saw before. It will take some time. If you will refresh exactly 7 times, it would appear. No, just 1 more.
Let's see if it's
Yeah, okay,
yes.
cool.
Something is happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, go back. Yeah, thank you. And just click on this second run that we did, where we have 84.
The one at 88.
Correct. Yeah. And you see the fail result, and where we have the remediate button against it. Down. Yeah, you see this remediate button. Yeah, just click this one. Thank you. Yeah, and you can apply the remediation. Perfect. Can you check in the events, Marino?
Sorry, wrong click.
Yeah. History. Very cool. Yeah, now you can you read on that same with the second policy, so we can verify. No, in the audit. Open SCAP. Yeah, right. And schedule. Yeah, SCAP policy, the first one. And just schedule it. So this time, since we already remediate, it should be 100% compliant. Yeah, if you check the event history. Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Marina. So if you go in the left tab, audit, the main menu, and open SCAP policies. Click on the first one, this burger menu on the near that. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, here again, if we do keep all the history, and so with this particular policy, one system was scanned, and since second pass was successful, like all the rules were passed, we mark it as compliant. Uh, you see a checkbox, Marina, there. Can you uncheck on the same page?
This one.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. If so, we do keep record of all the run, but since only the last run is the most important one, we have added this one small checkbox, to decide if really, if user wants, they could go and check all the previous run, but generally only the last one is important. And in this particular case, since it was compliant, our compliance rate is 100%. And yeah, I believe now we are done. I don't have anything that I think I'm forgetting. Thank you, Marina. That was very good.
Then, do we have questions?
Christian, yes, Christian, you still need to create a tailoring file yourself. It could be from Workbench or some other software that I'm unaware of.
Any other question?
It's part of Uni. If you will be able to upgrade.
No, wait. Don't upgrade. No, jokes apart. Yes, it's already there, as you see from the demo. I mean, this one was running on the last release, the 2026-04. So as soon as we can fix this upgrade problem, you should be able to use it. So stay tuned. Yeah, I'm sorry, Christian. I understand the feeling to have a new toy that you can't use.
Is there any update Workbench? No idea. I don't know about the Workbench state.
Me neither. On that, I don't know.
Any other question? Cool. Thank you, Marina. Over to you.
Okay, then let me go back to the presentation that I think you should be able to see. And the next for today is the update from Pablo about the migration that we are working on to the new Git workflow. So Pablo, if you're ready, stage is yours.
All right, so let me just try to share. Hopefully this is not crashing. Okay, this one I think should be it. Okay, and hopefully you should be able to see now my slides.
Yes.
All right. Good. So yeah, hi everyone. This is Pablo. So today we wanted to show you a little bit of the status of the process that we have been involved on about this migration to the new Git workflow. Particularly also presenting you this new project in OBS, which is System Management Uyuni main, where we are driving these efforts forward. So first thing, what this new workflow thing is. So as you might know already, there is a new maintenance and submission workflow that has been established by, for OpenSUSE Leaf 16 and also for the SLFO-based products on the SUSE side. There is a bit of documentation here on the OpenSUSE side of things. I don't want to go really into the implementation details of this new workflow, but yeah, in case that you have any questions or anything that we are not covering in this presentation today, you can of course reach us on the usual point of contacts, basically. So in a sense, this new workflow is about moving the sources for the packages that we are building in OBS to a dedicated Git repository. So there is this new place, src OpenSUSE org, which is the Git instance for OpenSUSE. And the idea on this new workflow is that the sources for the packages will be actually coming from this instead of being stored in OBS itself. The project definition for OBS and project configs are also maintained in Gitee in some special repositories. And one of the major changes here is that anytime that you wanted to do a change for a package in OBS, you will be doing a pull request instead of doing the, let's say, the traditional workflow of branching your package with OSC and then created a submit request with OSC as well. So this is what is changing now. So OBS is still being used for building the packages itself and generating the repositories and so on. But the sources for those packages are now coming from this Gitee repository. What does this mean for Uyuni? Well, this disclaimer at the beginning. So most of this new Git workflow is really affecting the how we build the things and how the submissions are done. But what regards to the development itself of the product, which it should not impact that much. It has some impact, as we will see, but it's not dramatically changing things. So particularly, as you see here, our Git repositories for Uyuni are still being the source of trust for Uyuni. So the development of Uyuni is still done in GitHub in our usual repositories, the uyuni-project uyuni-project uyuni-tools, OpenSUSE Salt, and some others. And these, any change that we are doing in these repos are automatically synchronized to Gitee at this point. There are some changes or some changes in the workflow for those packages that we are being maintaining in OBS directly. So, for example, on the Unimaster context, there is this virtual host gatherer or Grafana package and so on. So for this package, there might be some changes on the workflow that you will see in a moment. And also for the salt bundle dependencies. So the salt bundle dependencies they were maintained in OBS directly, and now we have fully migrated this to Gitee, to the new Git workflow. So the sources for the salt bundle dependencies are now maintained and developed in Gitee. So about this new setup that we have been setting up, we have now our new devel organization for Uyuni in Gitee under this path. So it's src opensuse.org/Uyuni. And within this organization, we have all the packages that we need for building Uyuni. So it has all the client tools packages, all the packages for building the server, proxy, images, and so on. On this regard, we have the server, proxy, and containers being built on this new place at OBS, System Management Uyuni main. And the definition for this project and project config and so on are basically stored in this special Gitee repo, as I told you before. So this is uyuni/uyuni. It basically contains the list of packages as Git submodules that are going to be part of this project in OBS to build. And the branch that we are using for this is this Uyuni main branch. For the client tools, there is a special, a new OBS project under this main domain, which is the Uyuni tools subproject, which is defined by this special repo here, Uyuni/Uyuni tools with the branch Uyuni tools main. And then all the packages that we have for the Uyuni itself, each one of the packages has its own repository under the Uyuni organization. The branch that we use for developing those packages depend whether the package is part of the server proxy containers or if it's part of the client tool. So either you have to use the Uyuni main or the Uyuni tools main. As I mentioned before, all the changes that we are doing for the Uyuni tools repo, Sol, Cobbler, everything that we are doing on GitHub is being automatically synced to Gitee at this moment under this Uyuni organization. So if we do a change on, the Uyuni repository for Space1 Java package, for example, then the corresponding uyuni/spacewalk Java repository in Git would get these changes already there reflected. Good. Then also for the Sol bundle, as I told you, we already migrated the maintenance of the Sol bundle to the new Git workflow. So in this sense, there is also a Sol bundle organization in Git, which contains all packages that we need for building the bundle. And in this case, this is kind of a hybrid approach at this moment, because we are also in the progress of rethinking the workflow that we do for developing Sol and maintaining Sol, but that's for another call, not for today. But in any case, any change that you wanted to do to the code of the VN-Sol minion package, so this goes via, as usual, as a pull request to our OpenSUSE Sol repository. And once this is merged, it would eventually land into the VN-Sol minion package. And with the exceptions of the changes to the spec file that are not tracked on this OpenSUSE Sol repo, you will need to file a pull request against the VN-Sol minion package in the Sol bundle organization. And the same goes for the changes on the Sol bundle dependency. So if you need to change anything on the Sol bundle dependency, then you need to go directly with a pull request to OpenSUSE, SRC OpenSUSE org, Sol bundle, and then the Sol bundle by whatever package where you wanted to do a change, and then you create a pull request. Okay. Then also, any change that we are currently doing for the Sol bundle within this Sol bundle organization is automatically landing already in the Uyuni master in OBS, right? So there is no real change at this moment. Just to give you a quick look on how this new organizations looks like. So this is our new Uyuni organization. As you see, there is 311 repositories there, each one per each one of the packages that we use for building the Uyuni product itself. Each one of those repos, so this is a particular repository for a package, the spacewalk Java package. It contains the spec file changes, and then it contains a directory with all the sources for the spacewalk Java. And this is basically the content that is then taken by OBS itself when OBS needs to build this spacewalk Java package. So here is where we maintain the sources. This is how these special repositories for the project definitions looks like. So this is, as I told you before, for Uyuni, we have two of these special repositories. One defines what is currently on Uyuni main, which contains the packages that we use for building the server, proxy, containers, all these things on the server side. And then there is the Uyuni tools subprojects, where we build the client tools. Right, so in this case, this Uyuni one is the one that feeds Uyuni main, and it contains, as I mentioned before, one Git submodule pointing to the corresponding package repository that we have within our Uyuni organization. The maintenance of these submodules and so on, this is done automatically by some of the tooling that OpenSUSE provides for working on this process, so you don't really need to take care of this. If you need to do a change, you simply need to do a pull request to the package, and that's it. Once the pull request is merged, the corresponding submodule would be updated automatically, and in the end, you will get the update of your package building on OBS once your pull request has been merged. Similarly, for the Sol bundle, this is the entry point for the Sol bundle organization. There is some documentation there. And in the same way, as you see, 138 repositories here for the Sol bundle and all its dependencies. And this is, for example, how the one for the VN-Sol minion package looks like. It's basically, the sources there, plus changes file and spec files, and this is pulled by OBS and taken for building the package that we built there. All right, good. So just to recap, changes for contributors. What you need to have in mind because of these things that we are implementing. So, well, I have mentioned already several times. All code changes that are done for the Uyuni tools, Salt, Cobbler repositories that are done directly in GitHub, these are automatically synced to Gitty. You don't need to do anything else. Nothing has changed. But any submit requests to packages that are directly maintained in the Uyuni master, like I mentioned before, like Grafana, for example, Virtual Host Manager, Gatherers, and some others, if you do a submit request to this package in Uyuni main, then we also need a corresponding pull request for now to the SRC OpenSUSE Uyuni and this particular package. And this needs to be done manually at the moment. This is going to change once we completely migrate Uyuni master to use or to take the sources from Gitty as well. But for now, we have this kind of duplication. We will tell you later which are our next steps and when we are planning to do the switch. Sorry. And then again, any changes to Salt Bundle dependencies needs to be done now via pull request to the corresponding Salt Bundle dependency package in the Salt Bundle organization. And yeah, as mentioned before, also any change for packages that are manually maintained in the Uyuni master needs to go. This is actually redundant because I mentioned it before. Sorry about that, but needs to go over pull request to the package in the Uyuni organization. Good. Some practical changes. So I have a change or bug fix or something for the Spacewalk Java package. Is there anything changing in this regard? No, nothing has changed. You just do as always. You do a pull request in GitHub to the uyuni-project Uyuni repository, and that's it. Once the pull request is merged, everything is fine. Let's say you have a bug fix for the Grafana package. Here, the thing has changed because you need to do now a pull request against this Uyuni/Grafana repository in Gitty, plus a submit request to the package in the Uyuni master until we have fully migrated to Uyuni master. So keep that in mind. These are just a couple of packages that are usually contributed by the same persons or people, but just in case, keep that in mind. And in the same way, also for any change to the Salt Bundle dependency, to one of the Salt Bundle dependencies, keep in mind that Salt Bundle was fully migrated to the new Git workflow, which means you don't need to duplicate submit request, but what you need to do is just a pull request to the Salt Bundle by whatever package, in this example, LXML. You do a pull request there, and once the pull request is merged, it would land under the Uyuni domain. You don't need to do anything else. All right. So current status of this migration and which are the next steps. So we have set up already acceptance test to run under this new Uyuni main project in OBS. We got already results, which we validated. So we are getting exactly the same results than when we ran the test suite for Uyuni master. So we are in the good shape. Our current, so we are currently working on using lib16 as the base images for Uyuni, so bumping from 15.6, which is what we currently use for server proxy images for all the different images to bump and use the lib16. This is currently work in progress, and we are doing these efforts on this new Uyuni main project in OBS. If you look at Uyuni master, there won't be anything regarding to lib16. But we are driving this in the new environment that we created. Once we have this movement done to lib16 in Uyuni main, then is when we are planning to really migrate or let's say, fully migrate the Uyuni master to take the sources from Gitty. As mentioned, this is not yet done. The idea is that the packages that are living in Uyuni master, they are going to take now the sources from Gitty, as I explained you before. An important thing also to notice here is that we are not going to deprecate Uyuni Master in favor of Uyuni Main or anything like that. Uyuni Master will stay as it is. There is not going to be any changes on URLs or repository URLs or anything like that. So Uyuni Master would be the devel project for Uyuni. So we actually provide kind of a transparent migration, even if the sources are not living anymore in OVS, but in Giti, users shouldn't notice anything that has changed on the OVS side or repository names or anything like that. Good. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. As mentioned, if you are curious about implementation details on how we set up these new organizations and all the things, of course, you can reach us and we will let you know. But yeah, for now, these are mostly the changes that might be affecting you at this point in time. So hopefully you have a now also clear view on what are our plans on this regard. And that we are also planning to move already the base system to lib 16. So that's it. Any questions, any doubts, any comments?
So there's a question from Don in the chat. He's asking why we are switching now to lib 16 after the recent switch to Tumbleweed. And this is actually something a little bit different. Until now, we were building the containers on lib 15.5. But 6, but 15.6 is going end of life actually today. So we need to build our containers using a different base, and we want to move to lib 16. Said that the rest remain the same, so you can have your Tumbleweed installation where you install the tooling for managing the containers, and that part will be transparent.
Yeah, exactly, Marina. Thank you. Good.
Any other questions?
All right. Then with that, if there is no last minute question or anything, we can just move on. Thank you.
Well, actually, this was the last presentation for today. So we still have a few minutes. Maybe we can directly see if someone has other general questions or wants to share something else. So stage is yours, folks. Feel free to come on microphone or just write in the chat if you want to ask something. There's a comment from Christian about the SUSECon and the chance to see people in person. Yeah, understandable. It's always nice. But about in-person meetings, thanks for the assist, actually. Keep in mind that in June, there is the OpenSUSE conference that will take place in Nuremberg at the ZBAU as the last years. So maybe that could be a place to meet in person and to have more discussions and ideas. And about that, I was also mentioning it just at the beginning of the community hour session. Actually, today is the last day for submitting proposals for the conference. So if you want to show something, if you want to present something, hurry up. You still have a bit of time. And you could also have a chance to directly be on stage instead of just attending the conference. Cedric?
Okay, so today is the day where Google will announce the Google Summer of Code project. So I cannot tell you anything now because students are not aware. They will be aware in a few hours. But it's gonna start. We're gonna start a nice summer this year.
That's great. Thanks for
Lots of
the
cool
partial
projects.
spoil.
It's a partial story. I could not say it, but I cannot say everything.
Looking at the chat, maybe this is more for Stefan or for Abid. One is asking if there are plans to have in the roadmap the migration from Uyuni to multi-Linux manager.
Stefan, will you take it?
Yeah, I take it if I find my microphone. Hi, Don. Always going to the painful question, right? Yes, we want to have a little bit of support here for those who want to go from Uyuni to MLM. We don't want to enforce anything there, and it will be an easy migration where possible. But keep in mind, we also want to keep the schedules of Uyuni and MLM a little bit of independence. So we need to be careful that we don't lock into database formats and other things. So yes, something's on the roadmap, something will come. It will not be possible to go from all to all, but something should be there. Yeah, that's true. Don knows all the painful things, and I should be mostly happy that we don't have the really hard questions. We leave that to Christian Stankovic and Open API, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yes, we want something there.
I'm the
Also,
voice of the customer, so just trying to
you are
share.
still my customer number 0. So yes. And let me be frank, I've also asked our engineers and teams and architects to look into migrations from other tools that are not Uyuni to MLM, and therefore maybe even to Uyuni at one point in time.
And Abid, there is a
Yeah.
question in the chat
Mhm.
that is definitely for you.
Yeah, it's definitely on plans. As I said, especially now that RHEL 10 or Reddit folks, they don't provide oval data anymore. This would be, a bit more prioritized. So we have some basic work already done around this to support VAX, and we hope to get this done, rather soon. Yeah, we will need to actually support both because some vendors don't provide VAX yet. Some only provide oval, so they provide both. So there we do have an option. In our case, if you want to, remediation. So you're talking about remediation in in context of a SCAP or for the oval. Okay. I'll take it as for SCAP. I guess their remediation are provided in different formats from Ansible, Bash. I guess there are also some Puppet recipes there. In our case, from MLM, we just will be not providing. I mean, you can of course still apply the other remediation as well. But from MLM UI, we will be picking up the Bash one, and that's also the default one, and that's what also used by SCAP by default. So we will not be, using Ansible playbooks remediation in this case, but they are available in those data stream files.
Any other question? If not, we are exactly on top of the hour, so we can wrap up for today. Thanks a lot for joining, and see you at the next community hour. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks a lot.